Hello and welcome back to Adventure Worthy. In this first impressions episode, we're having a look at Champions of Regnum. Champions of Regnum is an indie free-to-play MMORPG developed and published by NGD Studios. This isn't a new game. It's a good couple of years old, and the reason I'm only checking it out now is because it was released on Steam on the 27th of February, and here we are. Everyone wants to know about it. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it worthy of a grand adventure? Well, perhaps not everyone, but I saw it, I was curious, and now I'm having a look at it. Because why not? I suppose it is also worth pointing out that the game used to be called Regnum Online. That was before they redid it and before it launched on Steam. Champions of Regnum is said to be inspired quite heavily by Dark Age of Camelot. It focuses heavily on PvP and realm versus realm battles, and features dynamic player-driven battlefields in which the three realms fight for dominance. I won't lie, I don't know much about the bigger picture, the story of the world, the lore, anything like that, but I think that's something that one would only really get into after playing for a longer period of time anyway. Now, I played through the first 10 levels of the game, so you don't have to, and I'm going to be showing you the character creation, the starting experience, which I think is really important in any MMO, and then some gameplay with my level 10 character, which just happens to be a marksman. Also, just keep in mind that these are my first impressions, and it's an MMO. I think the level cap is 60, so who knows, the game could be entirely different at 60. I've only played till level 10. So this right here is the screen that you're greeted with when you first launch the game. You get to choose between the green guys, the blue guys, or the red guys. Certus, Alcius, and Ignis. And this whole setup here kind of reminds me of the Elder Scrolls Online, also three realms against each other, and the world map of Champions of Regnum also kind of reeks of Elder Scrolls, but I suppose one could flip that on its head and say that Elder Scrolls reeks of Champions of Regnum. But we're not going to get into that. We're going to have a look at all three of these factions, or empires, or realms, or whatever they call them, to just see what the races are. I haven't actually even looked at Alcius or Ignis. My first character, I just went with the green guys, and as I clicked this, I saw elves, and I was like, well, okay. Elves, archers, perfect. Done. But I am going to show you all three of them. So here we go. These are the Certus guys. You get the half-elves, the Alturians, the wood elves, and these little fellows, the Lamai. In the character creation, you get to choose between male and female, and your class. There's warrior, archer, mage, and that's pretty much it for character creation. But when you actually get to level 10 in-game, that's why I played till level 10, you get to choose between two variations of each of these classes. I'm not even sure what the variations are for the others that aren't archer, because I just don't really care. But they're there. They really are there. Options-wise, there's not that much going on here. But, you know what, let's look at the other races first, and then see what exactly you can change. Now, that's it for Certus. Let's have a look at Alcius. Oh! What? Why didn't I come with these guys? They look much better! Wow! A dwarf, a big woolly looking guy, and a lady with a bow. This would have been my choice had I even considered it. Huh. Okay. These are the Nordo. That's a very strange name. The Utgar. The dwarves. And the Lamai. Listen here, Lamai. What the heck are you doing with these guys? My goodness. Okay, let's check the Ignis out. And I'm kind of crossing my fingers, holding thumbs here that the Lamai aren't there as well, because that would just be too weird. Okay, we've entered Gothville. These are the Dark Elves, it seems. What do they have in terms of races? Oh, the Lamai are here! Morlock? Okay. Esquilio. What? What for a name is that? And the Dark Elves. Fine. You know what? Fine. I don't know if I want to make one of these. I'm going to make myself a green guy. Because I know the Certus starting experience. And I want to just give you my impressions of it while we're there. So this time around, I'm going to make a class that I didn't make last time. I made an archer. So let's go with a mage. let's go with a Lamai mage, a female Lamai mage. But first, let's just check the other options out. So, you get to change the face. Obviously, not much of a difference when you actually change it. The eye color. You know what? The hair. What do we have here? Hair? Come on. I suppose there are a decent amount of hairstyles. And with this being a free-to-play game with an in-game store, I wouldn't be surprised, well, not completely surprised, if you could get different cosmetic options in-game. But this game doesn't strike me as the kind of game that makes its money from cosmetic boosts. You'll see when we get in-game, okay? You'll see. So that's kind of cool, I guess. That hairstyle. The hair color can be changed. Some pretty basic options. Skin tone. And then the size of your character. But we're going to be going with Lamai. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's pretty stylish. Face. Okay. Hair. You can go for some real scruffy hair right there. It's kind of like my hair. Whoa, what was that? Jeez Louise. These guys have some really strange hairstyles. I'm not going to be going through every single race's options. I'm just giving you a general impression of what the character creation's like. Let's randomize a couple of times. These guys all look much the same. So let's go with Lamai and let's make a mage. Oh, look at that little face. Yes. There. Huh. Can we change the skin tone? Oh, there we go. I want a darker Lamai. Or let's make a really light one. No. Wait, yes. A really small and really light one. And a happy face. You know what? All their faces actually kind of look sad. They look like they got perma puppy eyes going on here. Let's just... There we go. So let's call her Juniper. She's a mage. Confirm. Oh! Okay. Because I'm a mage, I'm putting them straight into intelligence. Thank you very much. What? Juniper Lee. Obviously, Juniper Lee's not taken. So, let's talk about the starter experience in an MMO. I feel that if you're not gripped within the first 10 levels of the game, you're probably not going to be spending that much time playing. Now, the only exception to that rule would be something like EVE Online, where the starter experience is something you really have to grind through. You have to sort of grin and bear. But a game like this shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. Now, you can get a good look at how the visuals of the game are here. I thought to myself, when I saw this, it looked like World of Warcraft 2006 meets Free Realms. And you'll get the Free Realms vibes from the characters in the game world, and I'd say the villagers, the buildings in them, things like that. That's where I got the Free Realms feel from, but, you know, that's pretty much where it ends. Free Realms world is much happier looking, much more vibrant, and much fuller. If you guys don't know what Free Realms is, just search for it right here on YouTube. You'll get a good idea by just watching, I guess, the first video that pops up. Now, let's accept the first quest. Gimme. Come on. Greetings, Juniper Lee. I am sure as heck not reading all of that. So, this is just not working. For some reason. This is a terrible start. No. Okay, you keep your quest. I don't even care. I'm gonna speak to this person right here. Wait, this person right here, rather. Now, I didn't like the UI very much. And I don't know if you guys can tell already, but this is not going to be the most positive, adventure-worthy ever. But that's just how it is. Okay, they can't all be the best games ever. They can't all be grand adventures. But I struggled a bit with the interface, and I would say after the first 10 minutes or so, I just stopped reading everything. I didn't care. I just clicked on the person, I closed, and then I saw kill 5 goblins. Well, fine. You know what? Fine, let's just kill 5 goblins after we fix our hotbar, because they put all sorts of junk on here, like wave. There you go. Oh, look at that big smile. Very handsome. And what? Reverence? Fine. That's called bow. Get out of here. Private message? No. Create party? No. On guard! Okay. My character looks very happy to be on guard, and the combat music is so Ultima, it hurts. It really is. That I kind of like. Okay. So our skills are Arcane Missile, Curse, Fire Magnification, and Energy Barrier. I'm going to just stick with Arcane Missile. We're going to have a look at the item mall in a little bit. Probably when I jump onto my other character. Then we're going to discuss that and pretty much all the other stuff here. Right now, we're going to be looking at the starter experience. So we need to kill 5 goblins. Where are they? Are these the goblins right here? There. Where are they? There's one. Come. 1. Press 1. Come on. Cast that arcane. Bam! Ah! I knocked him on his backside. You two. Where are they running to? Now I need to point out that these goblins are not hostile. And for some reason the quest doesn't actually show that it's tracking over here. You gotta just guess how many you've killed. Except if you look up there. That's 3 out of 5. I don't know why they just streaming from that little village. They all got death wishes or something. Take this. Okay, one more. And then we should be done. Come on. Hey! These arcane missiles actually attack quite quickly. That's a nice change from my archer. And I've got an achievement already. Goblin Hunter. Let's just have a look at the achievements menu. I just opened it now. So there are a whole bunch of them. And there are even ones for doing things like buying a mount, opening a lucky box. These are things that you get via the in-game store. Then there are RVR ones, events, social, which is kind of cool, I guess. Explorer, Killer, Achiever. We'll probably be picking a couple of those up while we play now. But that's it. We've completed our quest. And then, bam. We've received another quest. I didn't even read this the first time I played. Well, I read the first couple of quests, but then I realized it's easier to just check the side here, and it says clearing the path, kill 5 wolves. Well, okay. I don't know why I'm really doing that, because these things aren't hostile and I can just run straight by. The path isn't blocked in any way. Okay, wolves. Show yourselves. Is that a wolf? These wolves look like raccoons. These are not stalker wolves, they're stalker raccoons. Look at them. Shame, I don't even want to be killing them. Where are they? So, the goblins are on that side, and the wolves on this side. Look at this poor little fellow. Man, oh, actually, he looks kind of angry. I thought they'd be looking happy, but they're most definitely not. So, here's another one. Let's take him down. Let's try the curse quickly. Here's the curse. Let's cast it. Take that! Success. Is he going to take damage over time now? Or what? I'm not even sure what the curse does. The target reduces her attack chance and damage while the curse is active. Okay, well, fine. You know what? That seems like a waste on such weak mobs. And there are lots of people here. I'm assuming that because this game launched on Steam, it suddenly just got a huge influx of players. You know, whether it's good or not, the fact that it launches on Steam is a pretty big deal. It's gonna get a lot of players coming in and maybe leaving immediately, but at least coming in. Now, I've leveled somehow. I didn't realize that. That's my character screen right there. I'm level 2. And your inventory is right the heck there. I'm carrying around some meat. It weighs 150 grams. Down here's the currency. I'm just going to give you all the basics that I know, so you can pretty much judge after watching my video whether this game is worth your time or not. I'll tell you what I think about it, obviously, but the fact that you've seen it for yourself would help as well. But that's all that's going on here. Your currency is pretty much coins. I think those are... You can have a look at... Where's the achievements menu? Somewhere here. Is it somewhere here? No, wait, it's in the store. I'm actually going to open the store now so I can tell you what the currency is. Boosters. They're called War Master coins. Those, the ones that you spend in the in-game store, that's what you can buy with real money. It's called Zemerins. And the last one, I have no clue. I have no clue what that little thing down there is, and I honestly don't really want to know. So, let's speak with Akil. What's happening, brother? Courage to you and your partners in time of combat. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I like your tunic. It's very green and quite white too. Now, we're going to head into the village here, and when we've done the first couple of quests, I'm going to tell you what I ended up doing in my first 10 levels playing here. So, the start of the game is very much here. This is like the starter island, and then eventually you move on to the mainland, and the green guys spawn over here, the blue guys over there, and the red guys over there. Apparently the red guys are not doing too well, and that's why at the character creation screen, we saw that they got extra experience. I think it was like 10% more experience. That's to give people an incentive to join the red team and to bolster their numbers a little bit. So, all that said, once we're done with the first couple of quests here, I'm going to tell you how things went down on this island, because I've got some pretty interesting things to share with you. Both good and bad. Mostly bad, but still, we'll get to that. So this is the Mage Trainer right here. To accept a quest from him, you can't just talk to him, he won't just give you the quest. You've got to click on quest here, and then it'll say, give the trainer's note to Rahelia. So let's do that. Let's just go. Rahelia is on our map over there. She's this lady, the enchanter, right by this house. Now, the architecture here, Free Realms. This reminds me of Free Realms, and you know what? Why am I still in combat? I just realized right now that this music is getting a little bit much. Where the heck is it? Can I just get out of combat? There, on guard. So it seems like I do need to keep this. Come on to my hotbar. That's better. Can't believe I was in combat mode all that time. What sayeth you, girl? Here we go. That's it. Now I gotta interact with chest. Is that this over here? Gimme. Okay, the chest contains several wooden staves. You take one that fits your height. Hand it to Rahelia. That's her right here. Wow, this quest. And I'm done. Now I gotta speak to Lotil. Lotil, where are you, my friend? Oh, that's the Mage Trainer again. Let's go over there. I'm giving you the authentic experience because this is how most people would go through it. And that, I don't even know. Right, okay. Kill one unchallenging practice dummy. Let's do it. They're over here. Someone else seems to be busy with them at the moment. Ah, there, it respawned. Oh, cool. I like your bow. Wait. I wanted to steal the kill. I didn't get it. But it's fine. It'll respawn in just a second. So here we go. I've done that. Now suddenly my quest updates. I need to kill the normal one. Once it spawns, there we go. And I think you guys can guess what's going to be next. Yes, you are absolutely right. Next, we're going to have to kill the challenging one. If I could kill this one a little bit faster, then I could have just jumped. Oh, that was close. That was so close. Deck, I nearly had that. I nearly had that. I should be able to jump in onto the hard one. Let's stand closer, because then my attacks will land quicker. Ooh, let's put a curse on it. There we go. And now attack. I'm definitely going to be able to get in on the hard practice dummy action in a mere moment. Come on, faster. I'm smacking this one key as quickly as I possibly can. Come on! I want to get these quests done so I can move on to story time with Lumin. Champions of Regnum story time. I've got a lot to say about this game. Can I just... Come on. There you go. So much easier if there's someone helping. Hey! These little lamai seem to be a popular choice. There are a lot of them here. Huh. Okay. Come on. I'm waiting for my mana to regenerate. Can I not just attack normally? Really? Is there no normal attack? Man, so what are you supposed to do when your mana runs out? Oh, you know what? You know what I think you're supposed to do? Buy greater mana potions for 660 Zimmerans. Yes. So we're done with that. We're going to speak to Lottil, and we're going to see what our next quest is. And you'll quickly... Can I just jump over here, please? There we go. You'll very quickly get an idea for how the quests are going to be going forward, because a pattern forms incredibly quickly. So we're done with that. Let's get a quest from this guy. Get 6 caps from mottled mushrooms. Fine. You know what? Let's do it. They are right the heck there. Not even that far away. Let's go. Wait. No. You know, I have it on good authority. I'm getting stuck here. Can you stop that, please? Let's get out of combat mode quickly, because that music is just annoying. I have it on good authority that they're over here. I keep getting stuck, because when you right click to turn your camera, then for some reason it stops you from moving forward. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Mottled mushrooms. Give me that. Give me this one as well. Perfect. So I think, if I remember correctly, the variations for mage are conjurer and warlock. And for warrior, it's berserker and something else. And then for archer, you get to choose between hunter and marksman. I chose marksman, obviously, and I would do so again in a heartbeat, just because. I do think, however, that hunter gets a pet, but marksman is meant to be doing more damage, having more range and other stuff like that. That glowing light over there is something I should actually visit, because that's your waypoint of sorts. It's your save point. It's like a resurrection point in WoW, a graveyard, I guess, but it doesn't put you at the closest one when you die. It puts you at the one that you saved at. So there you go. I just saved at this one, and if I die, if I happen to die somewhere, which will happen, because let me just tell you that I think I saw a tip on the loading screen that said, you know, you can just drown yourself if you want to get back to your save point quickly. Now, who puts that on their loading screens? What kind of game does that? That's so silly. I just think that is such a silly thing to do. Why not rather make it possible to teleport back there for like a small fee, like Guild Wars has, or just put in free fast travel or something like that? Now, I am accepting a whole bunch of quests here, and you'll see in a mere moment how things are going to happen. Here we go. We're accepting them. Now, firstly, I need to just take this person's gift to this person over here. Bahout, Silver Finder. Ooh, there are a whole bunch of quests. Huh. Okay. You delivered one gift and you got one gift. These people just want to give gifts to each other, and that's that. Got another quest over there. And we got to return to the same person yet again. Come on, lady. There we go. You have completed the quest. So that was a quest right there. I don't know what it was all about. I guess if I read what those people told me, then I would have known. And over here, this is to tell you, listen here, person playing this game, you should probably buy a mount because, well, because you're about to see why. This right here is why. You don't want to know how many times I ran up and down this road in my starter experience to return to this town to hand quests in. And let me just tell you that right now I've been blessed with 3 quests that are actually in the same general vicinity. That didn't happen very often in my time from level 1 to level 10. It didn't. It didn't. And I can see right from the start that they kind of force you to go to this item mall right here and click on the mounts button to buy a mount. They force you to do that. There are some really cool looking mounts here, sure. But it's not cool if you have to buy a mount to make the game even the slightest bit fun. Because I'll show you in a moment how the quests ended up being. Now, I've delivered the poison. Okay? Now, I need to go straight back to town. That's not even a long run. You know, what kept happening to me was I got one quest there. One quest. in the village of Ilria. And that quest said, listen here, run down to Ulrin Asir. And once you get there, then someone tells you, well, thanks for running down here. Would you please just run back to the starter village to tell this guy this thing that I want you to tell him? And when you get there, just bring me his response, please. That's the kind of quest that you get. I'm not even joking. The worst of the lot, the worst by far, was a quest that I got over here, okay, at this place. That's the second village. It told me to kill one bear for its fur. The bear was over here on the tip of this little island. So I went over there, I killed the bear, and then I had to run straight back to the village. That was it. And that was the only active quest that I had. And listen, it may not seem like a big deal, running from there to there, but just watch how long it's going to take me right the heck now to do just these 3 quests. So I've already done the one. I need to return now. And for the next one, I need to go to Drana Mount. That's up here. So there I just completed that one to go to the west, whatever forest. I don't even know. And now I'm going to do the other one. So when I get there, it gives me get 5 furs for armor from bear cub. Not bear cubs, just bear cub. There's apparently one bear cub that I'm going to kill 5 times in a row to take his fur. That's really cruel, by the way. Now here, I need to use the one tribal rune on Totem 1. This is Totem 1 over here. I mean, they could really have given it some flavor, okay? They could have called it the Tiki Skull Totem. There, I just used the Tiki Skull Totem. And this one they could have called the Feather Skull Totem. They could have done that. And the cave opens. And we get to go in there. Let's go into the cave. Once we go into the cave, we need to kill 8 tribal goblins. Look at this. Look at this beautiful girl over here. Hey, what's happening? I'm having so much fun right now. Let's do this. Let's kill these tribal goblins. They are normal. They're not hard. They're not challenging. They're just normal. Take this, buddy. Take this. So I'm guessing with a mage type class, you gotta watch what you aggro, because if you pull too many of them at the same time, or if you start the next fight before your mana is regenerated, then you're gonna be in a bit of a pickle. You really are. At least that seems to be the case. With my archer, that wasn't the case, because you don't have a limited amount of ammo. You can just shoot as much as you want with your bow, and that's that. So the spellbook over here, it'll tell you what exactly is going on, and from what I can tell, you need to pretty much, to be able to spend all your points, okay, to be able to spend all your points that you're going to be getting at the trainer, you can spend them at the trainer, you have to actually spread out into all the trees. You kind of have to, because you get way more points than you need, and then you're going to be like a jack of all trades. Regardless of what specialization you go, you're still going to have to spread out into all those different trees. Now for the mage, the trees are, what is this? Mental, mana control, enchantments, and staff mastery. I'd probably go with something like staff mastery first, just because it sounds like the most passive of the lot. But whatever, there are a whole bunch of tribal goblins here, and they don't seem to care that we're picking their friends off one at a time. They just don't seem to care. Whatever. You know what, I'm gonna kill them now. I'm happy that this girl is here, because my mana's finished. Listen, tap one. No, I've tapped one. Okay, good. We've got the same one. This is the last one that I need to kill. And when I'm done with a set of quests, I'll accept the next set, and then I'm gonna jump into... Hey, he's attacking me. Oh, you brave little guy. No, I will not accept that. I'll just shimmy on back and hopefully not die. Come on, just kill that little guy. There we go. I'm done. Now I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna skedaddle. See, now my next objective is to run back to the town. I think I've got 2 that are sending me back to the town. No, wait, this one is actually down here. But I have no doubt that once I've spoken to the person down here, he'll send me back to the town. We'll see. We'll see in a mere moment. The chat window down here, which you can actually make bigger, is sort of like a map chat, but it looks like they expand and compact it based on how many people are online. So if there are lots and lots of people, they make it for just this area here, and if there are less people online, then they make it for the entire like world, pretty much, which I think is kind of clever. And it seems like there's always at least one GM online at all times, which, you know, I suppose is kind of cool as well. It's nice that you got the GM there to ask for help or whatever. I saw a GM talking in chat earlier, and I suppose that's kind of cool. You know, it's nice seeing that there's comfort in. And there are people chatting a lot. It seems like people are really into this game. I'm not sure if it's the regulars that were playing the game before it came to Steam, and they just all really happy and talkative now because the game is, in fact, on Steam. I'm not sure if it's them, or if it's just people on Steam having a great time. Can I heal as well? Energy barrier? It doesn't seem like it. The wizard channels fire damage into her staff. Let's cast that and see what happens. I think that's just going to boost my damage a little bit. Wow. That is an intense glow, to be sure. Come on. Now I don't have any mana left. Or what's going on here? No. No, I don't. Save me. Save me. Save me, Mr. Healer. Save me, please. That just ran into his line of sight. Hopefully he's going to see me and just, you know, spring into action. I'm cursing you, buddy. There you go. Take the curse. What? Oh, there we go. Am I doing basic attacks? Hey, hey. Okay. So when you've got fire magnification on, then you can just do the basic attacks. I don't know much about the mage class because, as I said, I played with archer till level 10. So I know a little bit more about the archer class. But hey, there you go. I'm learning. I'm learning as I do this. Then there are also these notices here that will tell you all about what's going on in the battlefield. In this area here, it'll tell you when your team captures something, or when your realm captures something, or loses something. I just died. No. I wasn't watching. Altar of Resurrection. Just take me back. Take me back right the heck now. I'm done. I'm gonna hand these quests in. I didn't get to pick up the 5 furs, but I do have to speak to these people in town now. Both of them. Now you'll see what happens. So they have completed the quest. Let's complete this quest here. Done and done. And now, as you can see, nothing new has sprung up here yet, because you need to actually complete this fur quest. And once you do that, you're going to be sent straight back to the village, and then things will just continue from that point on. And I kid you not, the amount that you have to run around gets so tedious. I can tell you now, if I wanted to actually play this game seriously, I would have to buy a mount. I'd have to. Also, from what I can tell, there's no swimming in the game. You just die when you enter the water. And that's obviously why they give you the tip on the loading screen of killing yourself, of drowning yourself to get back to your save point. Again, I don't know why they do that. Then, another issue I kinda had some of the time was that they give you roundabout routes to the quest locations. So I got a quest to come over here. Okay, I had to meet a guy beyond these ruins, and I got the quest over there. Then the quest told me to come to the mound over here, or whatever this place is called that I was at, which means I ran all the way down here and up in there. Then it tells you to go over there. But you could have just ran straight up through this way. For what reason? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't get it. But that's going to be it for the lower level experience. The starter experience. That isn't much of an experience if you don't have your very own mount. Now we're going to just jump into the high level character. I'm going to show you what it looks like at level 10. And that's going to be that. Here we are in the big city. On my archer, or I suppose you can call her a marksman now, because I did reach level 10 and choose the marksman specialization, Lumin. Is that a hunter? Wow, that's actually amazing. Aw. Seriously? Did that little guy have to do that right now? Oh, fine. Now I regret picking marksman. Anyway, regardless, I was hoping that upon reaching level 10 and leaving the newbie starter zone, which was, as I've pointed out so many times already, that island down there, I was hoping that things would change. I was hoping that when I reached the mainland, it would all get much more interesting, much more exciting, much more intriguing. I suppose intriguing is much the same as interesting, but still. That's what I was hoping for, and I did not get that. Sadly, I just didn't. I did, however, get 2 rather tedious quests. The one had me going around talking to every single trainer in this town. I would totally understand if I had to talk to my own class trainer, but no. I had to speak to every single trainer of all the classes. That was a little bit boring. The other one that I got before getting the 2 kill beetle quests, and yes, both of these want me to kill 10 beetles, the same beetles. I suppose that would be like a real score in any other MMO, like a gold mine. But in this, I was hoping for something different. Something non-janky, something not broken. But anyway, the other quest has me going around exploring zones. Now that sounds like a pretty grand adventure, you know, going around seeing new things, but it's not quite as interesting as that. You pretty much just need to walk to all the perimeters of the town and arrive there to trigger these, and that's that. Look at this funny looking little guy. Hello. So, I've got a few things I want to talk about here. I'm not going to show you guys too much gameplay because the gameplay at this point is also, much like the quests, exactly the same. I'm obviously going to show you how this character works that I've got, the archer class, which is now a marksman. I'll show you how that works. But first, a few things. Let's just have a look at the UI, because we didn't really inspect it while we were going through the starter experience, which is fine, because when you're starting on an MMO, you don't need to understand everything right off the bat. They can't expect you to understand everything right off the bat. So, the character screen, plus the stats and stuff, it's pretty basic. It's got everything you need though. All the stuff here I'm sure you guys understand. The Regnum points are like honor, which you'll earn when you go to the middle of the map here and start slaying other players. Because as far as I understand it, the map, once you reach a certain point, or I don't even know if it's the same like that here, maybe there are just lots of guards to protect you here, but once you get past a certain point, it's kind of free for all. If you meet someone out there, you're gonna have to do battle with him, which I kind of like. And the setup of the map here, as I said before, kind of reminds me of how the Elder Scrolls Online wants to do things, which is really cool. I mean, I really like the idea of it, and I'm also kind of curious how different the other realms would have been, how different the starting experience would have been for, say, the Dark Elves. I'm assuming they started up there by the snow. Or the other people, the guys who were on the ships. Actually, maybe they were up at the snow. I don't know. I'm kind of curious as to how that would have been compared to what I just went through. But that aside, right now we're looking at the character screen. My attributes are currently in red because I've got 3% necrostacy. No, that's not the name of an undead girl. I suppose it could be necrostasy. That's probably what it is. It makes more sense. But what that is it's your resurrection sickness. Basically, when you die, you get 1% extra there, and that takes your stats down by a little bit, and that's why they're red. Makes sense. It's a good system. I kind of like it. And to reduce that percentage, all you need to do is go out and kill stuff. Then, for some reason here in the inventory... Whoa. Look at that, a giant anaconda. That snake could fit its master in its belly quite easily. I like it. Its name is Derpet. Cute. That is so nice. You know, I'm seeing so many hunters here with their amazing pets, and I'm just getting more and more jealous. I should have gone hunter and not marksman. Anyway, in the inventory here, you can actually deselect any items of your armor to remove them. You can go totally vanilla mode. This is how my character looked at the character creation screen, minus the bow, obviously. And I suppose that's useful as well, especially considering you can probably buy cosmetic items in the item mall. But there you go. That's an option they gave you, and I guess the more features, the better. The inventory system, don't get me started on this. Just don't get me started on this, because I haven't even managed to sell a single item. I just couldn't figure it out, and then I was like, you know, I'm done. I just stopped trying. That was that. But that's my inventory, that's my gold over there. I already covered this somewhat in the starter experience, but yeah, there you go. A whole bunch of items. I have no idea what they're all about. They just didn't interest me at all. And because there's no crafting system, because there's no real gathering system, you just have no reason to do anything. You have no reason to sell items. The only reason you use gold, at this point at least, is to repair your gear. I haven't found any vendors with anything that's better than what I've got right now. And if there is something better, it costs like 20,000 gold, which is ridiculous. Completely and utterly ridiculous. Everyone seems to have a mount as well. Every single person. It just sort of solidifies the point that I was making earlier, that you kind of need a mount to enjoy this game. You just do. But after I arrived here, after I reached level 10, I wanted to try PvP out. So I tried to join Team Deathmatch. It didn't work. I tried to join Capture the Flag. It didn't work. The reason it didn't work was because there weren't enough players. And for some reason, I'm getting terrible FPS loss here at the moment. I don't know why. Anyway. I tried to join. It didn't work. There weren't enough players. I'm assuming that's because there were a whole bunch of new players that came from Steam. And they didn't make it all the way up to level 10. So they didn't queue for PvP. And I guess that said, the only PvP that's happening is the open world PvP, which I'm not even sure is open world PvP. I just assume it is because of the way the map is set up. I also read that there's some sort of coliseum where you can battle people from the same realm that you're from, which I suppose is also kind of cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I guess the chances are that requires a high level, and I am sadly only level 10. So, I'm going to show you how the class works now. My skills and stuff, not too interesting. Let me just, I think the class trainer is right the heck there. There she is. I decided to go with aiming mastery and longbows along with evasion. So I wanted, like, as I usually tend to go for, a mobile character that hits really hard. And I don't know if I really achieved that. I don't know if my build gave me that, but I suppose it did get a little bit more interesting when I got these two new trees, the one being aiming mastery, the other one being arrow mastery, when I chose marksman. Now I'm assuming when you choose hunter instead of marksman for your archer at level 10, then you'll get something like pet mastery and wilderness mastery. I don't know. Something like that, probably. I chose Deadeye because I am in fact Deadeye Lumin, and I'm going to show you how these skills work in just a moment. I've got 6 discipline points to spend, but there's no point in spending them, because if I go and put them, say, here, on tricks, then I still don't have any of the power points to spend here, so it just doesn't end up making any sense. I don't know why they gave you those points in the first place. I just don't get it. Now, the one thing I didn't like about the skills and the skill system and all that was that I didn't have enough active skills, and I suppose that is partly my own doing, but also because they didn't give me any to choose from. Any cool ones, at least. The only active skill I've got, the only one that actually... And I'm using the wrong word in here. I shouldn't be saying active because they're all active, they're not passives. More, the only one that's actually gonna shoot something at my enemy to damage them. This whole bar, from 2 onward, is all passive. So that, what it does is it increases my range. This one over here gives me extra dexterity. This one over here gives me weapon damage but reduces my attack speed. And finally, this one gives me dodge chance. Then, I'm totally pimped out to the max with all these different buffs, and I can just go out and slay me some beetles. Where are they? Big green wasp. You know what? I want to kill a beetle. Right now, all my buffs are gone. You see? You see what I'm working with here? Come on, beetles. Where are you? Reveal thyselves. I just see wasps. My goodness, I swear they were out here somewhere. There's a leopard over there. You know what? Let's just do glorious battle with a green wasp. Here we go. Oh, what? Don't shoot yet! I wasn't ready, but fine. You know what? Lumin wanted to shoot. She was gung-ho, and that's that. We are killing this green wasp now. A little bit slowly, but, you know, we're killing it. So that's that. And for some reason, my FPS is okay again. I'm getting a solid amount of FPS. Another thing I didn't mention before is that you can't actually loot corpses. For some reason. It just loots automatically. And you can see over here in your log, when you pick something up, you've obtained wasp wings. I suppose that is kind of... No, don't attack! Oh, what the heck. You see, when you're in combat mode, your character just wants to shoot anything and everything. I don't know if I like that, but you know, it seems to be a thing. It just seems to be a thing. So I suppose the fact that you don't have to loot the corpses makes it that much easier. But I like seeing what I'm picking up. And when you're on your chat screen over there, you can't see your log. And when you're on your log, you can't see your chat. So it's kind of difficult. But, as you can quite clearly see, the gameplay is much the same on my archer or marksman as it is on the mage that I played for like 5 minutes. Well, maybe 35 minutes, but you get what I'm saying. I'm going to go onto the water quickly as well, because I want to show you how the water looks. It's actually quite pretty, and some of the scenery that I've seen in this game, and I have seen a lot of scenery. I'm just putting that out there, because right now, based on my experiences thus far, I'd call this Champions of Regnum the Great Trick. Because I've been spending most of my time in this game running from point A to point B, then back to point A, then to point C, then back to point B. Then at point B they ask me to go to both point C and point A, and I do it, only to be sent all the way back to point B to get my reward, finally. And I had to do this all on foot. That is an experience that I do not want to be subjected to again. I know I'm kind of going on about this right now, and I apologize, but I haven't played a different MMO other than Guild Wars 2 for such a long time, and I feel as if I've been spoiled. I really do. That's gonna be it for this episode, and I'm sorry if it was a bit negative, but you know, all the games that I look at can't be amazing and can't be my favorite things in the world. There are just so many good free-to-play MMOs out there already that it's kind of difficult to recommend this one above some of the others. So in conclusion, I'd say that Champions of Regnum is sadly not worthy of a grand adventure. It's not the most polished or user-friendly experience, and it's definitely not going to be taking up any more of my time, but there you go. I wanted to tell you guys what I thought about it, show you what the game was all about, and I think I've done that. Check back here soon for more. Be sure to let me know what you thought about what you saw in my video, or what you think about the game if you've tried it for yourself. Most importantly though, happy trying new MMOs. Happy that.